end of the day, Mike Babcock is a bully. He thinks everybody is showing up to the rink to watch him. It's a power play for him. That's why he picks on rookies. That's why he didn't let, Mike Modano, huh? Hockey Hall of Famer. You think you're going to get to 1,500 games? No, I'm going to scratch you. He gets off on shit like that.
Clearing the crease. Oh. Clearing the crease. Hey, hey,
Welcome back to the Clearing the Crease podcast, powered by Ozune.com. How's your week, Commie?
We're getting right to it this week, huh? You know what? I had a real good-looking week. I woke up Monday morning. I'm like, man, this is going to be a really good week for me. I'm going to go to Game 5, Canes Knights, and then I'm going to see my buddies from the Edmonton area to go play Gamble Sands on a nice little boys' golf trip. And then I turn on and I'm listening to the radio, and I'm like, did I just hear Babcock's name? What's that doing on the radio, NHL radio? And then sure as shit, within 30 minutes, my phone's exploding, and it's been exploding all day. All week, with Bab. So, I'm still going to enjoy my week. I'm not going to let Babs ruin that, but it has been a little bit of a buzzkill to kick the week off. Thank you for asking, Seaball.
Well, we just needed to do a quick wellness check before we dive in completely. Hi, everybody. I'm Pavelski. He's Razor. That's Commie. He's got something to say here. Just a quick moment. This is the Clearing the Crease podcast. And just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying the show and all the content that we bring you regularly, and more of you continue to find us, we thank you. So if you're just joining us here, if you're new to the party, welcome. Come on board. The water's warm. Make sure you're liking and subscribing to our YouTube channel. Leave a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify, and make sure you're following along, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, or wherever else you are finding us, because the Clearing the Crease podcast is powered by Ozune.com. Well played. The road to the Stanley Cup is open, and the clearest route to winning big is to play on Ozune.com. Ozune's got you covered for all the props, game lines, futures, right through this Stanley Cup final, and it's been a banger from right now until the Cup, beyond, the draft, free agency, next season. It's all happening. Make your power play and score big with Ozune. Well played. Razor, how are you? I mean, we've just been waiting for this. And you know what? We had the gift horse with Dylan Larkin that has not stopped all week either here. So there's some things to talk about today.
No, the hockey world is it's turning into football, it feels like. The NFL, where it just always continually goes on and on and on. And there's a story all the time. And I guess that's good for the league. And it's been good for everybody in media, talking heads like ourselves. And Dylan Larkin has a long way to go. I think there's still a lot more meat on that bone. And of course, the filet mignon of the Mike Babcock story that we have here. And I gotta say, like, of course, I think the entire hockey world, which is, for me, I felt bad, but for everybody else, the first thing everyone thought of was Commie when Mike Babcock's name came up. Like, it's really incredible. Like, it felt like that's how it's happened. But I felt for you, Commie, because I know that like, what else are you gonna say? This has already been everything, the whole thing, and now he's back in the mix, and it's really hard to imagine. And I'm fascinated what the oil, like, I'll take it a bit of a different way first, and I'll let you go next, Commie. But I'm just really interested if the juice is worth the squeeze here for the Edmonton Oilers, and if there hasn't already been enough in the last 2 days to be questioning whether we need a defensive coach with that much of a structure and that much of a winning recipe that badly. There isn't anyone else that we could get, because this has, not just for Commie, but for everybody, taken on a life of its own, and everybody's taking positions already. And the guy hasn't even been hired yet. So what is this going to look like on a 4-game losing streak, or the first day of training camp, or the first time he yells at someone on the, like, I just have a lot of questions, and I completely respect the desperation that the Edmonton Oilers have at this point in their franchise to get Connor McDavid a win, a Stanley Cup, to keep him here. But I'm very curious how this plays out if they go forward with this and if this is really, truly the right way to go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know where to start. It's been a long week. I mean, it is. I mean, my phone was blowing up, and look, it's nobody's fault but my own. I never had visions of this 10 years ago. Now, I hate Mike Babcock. He's a scumbag. He's a terrible human being. I hope he rots in hell. I hate the dude. There's no question about that. In saying that, I also didn't see a decade later when his name comes up, my phone's just zzz, 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 and I'm not pissed about it now. Like 7, 8 when this all started, this guy, his name would literally ruin my day. And when somebody tried to defend him, I would legit get pissed off, and it would take all my self-control to lose it. And then you get some people that at the end of the day, this is sports. I understand it. This is entertainment. It's sports. But it's also, for a long time, it was the way I made my living. I mean, it was, it's not who I was, but it was a big part of my life. And I think some people thought it was kind of funny that I got railroaded. And I'm like, hey, dude, that wasn't funny at the time. Now, I'm not bitter anymore. Life goes on. I honestly really could care less. But this guy's a documented bully. He's a documented predator. All you got to do is type his name in. So we just went through the league, and a bunch of these guys just had to go to a funeral that was too early a couple days ago for Claude Lemieux. And the league likes pumping, mental health is important to us, and the PA and the Edmonton, mental health, and it's mental health month, and mental health is important, and call somebody. I don't want to hear, if this goes through and Mike Babcock gets hired and is the new head coach for the Edmonton Oilers, I don't want to hear another word about how important mental health is for us when you literally just pave the way, clear the way for Mike Babcock to get another opportunity in the NHL and put him in another position of power where he can abuse people. Now, the other thing is, the players signed off on it. It must be okay. They're fine with it. Oh, the players signed off. Well, okay. I'm assuming some of them did. Okay, who signed off on it? So, his kid just got hired in Brantford, which is owned by the Hymans. Zach played for him. I'm assuming Hyman had a good experience. Connor McDavid signed off on it. Leon Draisaitl signed off on it. Those aren't the guys that Mike Babcock is going to abuse. Mike Babcock has done some dumb things. He's not an idiot. He's not going to waltz into Edmonton and start abusing Connor McDavid. He's not that dumb. He's not an idiot. Those aren't the people that have to worry about Mike Babcock. Mike Babcock's going to treat those guys great. Treat them like gold. It's the third and fourth liners. It's the 5 to 7 D-men. It's the rookies. It's the medical staff. It's the training staff. It's the arena staff. It's those kinds of people that are going to get abused. So I don't want to hear it. And then you got people that are he's in a different place now. He's changed. Are you shitting me? 3 years ago or a few summers ago, whatever the year was where Victor Hovland won the FedEx Cup. God, that was such a fun weekend for me when he got gassed. But whatever summer that was, a couple years ago, he said all this stuff. He like I said, he's not stupid. He's got a psychology degree from McGill, sorry. He can screw with people, psychological warfare, and he's good at it. He's going to tell you what you want to hear. He'll just keep, I've changed and this and that. We just went through this in Columbus. He did the same thing with the Blue Jackets and then didn't make it to training camp. Got canned before training camp started. Made them look stupid. Now, for some reason, they thanked him and they paid him $4 million out of the 8, which to me is I don't understand. But this guy isn't changing. Go through clips and try and find a clip of Mike Babcock, actually taking accountability for something and actually apologizing. It doesn't exist because he doesn't think he's ever done anything wrong. So why the hell is he going to change? He's not. Like, it's mind-boggling. If you want to hire the guy, if the Edmonton Oilers come out and say, you know what, Mike Babcock is our answer, and we don't care about his past. All we care about is the fact that he's won before. That's what matters to us. Okay. I can't argue with that. If that's what you want to do, then do it. But don't come out and say you're hiring him and he's changed, a different person and all this bullshit, and tell me mental health matters and you care and this and that. I don't want to hear the bullshit. To be honest, it's a
just
little
don't
bit
just own it that this is about winning. Essentially, is what you're saying. Don't give me he's changed. This is just about desperation to win.
Yeah, this is what we think we have to do to win.
Well, and that almost has to come from Connor and Leon too, doesn't it? On some
I think so.
This
Connor
is their move.
Like,
this is their move, right, Razor?
Do those guys have to call Johan Franzen? And do they have to call Mike Modano? And do they have to call Mitch Marner? And that's why the PA is so involved in this, right? Because to Commie's point, the PA is in place to protect the bottom 500 guys, 600 guys in the league. The 100 guys are fine. They're they can walk on water in that league. Everybody who's out there listening,
they're fine.
The top 150 guys do whatever the hell they want to do in this league all the time. Always have, always will. Not a big deal. But the rest of us, the other 550, the other 600 know that, and we're okay with it. But we also need the union to protect us in some ways. And that's where that accountability will be very interesting to hear. The top guys who are vouching for this, will they have to go to bat for the misjudgments of this guy in previous past? Because these articles are going to keep popping up. I've seen the Johan Franzen thing pop up 9 times. I forgot about him sitting out Mike Modano, who is one of those top 100 guys of all time, literally not letting him play 1,500 games in the National Hockey League. Like, just, it's so simple, but that, I don't know, like, that one bothers me as much as any of the other stuff that's gone on. Like, I can't imagine doing that to a guy. But anyways, it's just very interesting how this accountability is going to be dispersed and be communicated to all of us, because there's a lot there.
And look, like the Marner one and the Mike Modano and the Johan Franzen, and those are the ones that grab the headline. Those are the ones you can Google. Like, that's the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of abuse, decades of abuse that have gone on with people you've never heard about, right?
Yeah.
Like the guys we're just talking about, the third, fourth liners, the 5 to 7 defensemen, the people that work at the arena, people like that, where none of these stories ever come to light. And Babs just power trip abuses these people relentlessly, but we're never going to hear about it. These are just the big ones you hear about. And some people be like, wow, fans are like, wow, the fourth liners don't matter and 5 blah blah. Okay, well then go try and win a Stanley Cup this year with 2 lines, 4D, and a goalie. Go do that then, if it doesn't matter. So I think it's a total black mark against, I'm thinking a lot. This is just me guessing. I have no idea. I'm guessing Zach Hyman's name is all over this, and he's involved big time in that. This is my guess. Just taking that his junior team hired Babs' son, and he obviously played for Babs, and now he's on the Oilers. But like I do think personally, I think it's a black mark against these guys, whoever their leadership group. It's Connor, it's Leon, it's Zach Hyman. I don't know if our boy Bush is in there or not, but whatever. Those guys, like, I think it's a black mark because in a way it's just, I don't care. Like, I understand the list is short if you're looking, like somebody brought up a good point yesterday. Well, we want somebody that's won. The list is short. Like, I get that. Okay. But I'm like, dude, this guy hasn't coached in years. There's been a lot go on. And like, how mismanaged has this been by the Oilers? Since they got booted out of the playoffs.
It's unbelievable.
Like, I think
and the fact that, and how about this story happening right now in the middle of a Stanley Cup final that is doing bonanza numbers in the United States?
Yeah.
Obviously not a much different story in Canada, but like this is a huge hit. We all thought this was going to be a ratings disaster. It's been a massive windfall so far.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now the NHL is having a stick handle through this story in the middle of the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, it is too bad. And you're right, Seaball. Like, I'm having people come up to me in Scottsdale that, I don't even know, at the gym, at the golf course. I know a couple guys at the golf. People that don't usually pay a whole lot of attention to hockey are coming up to me and they're like, man, that game was unreal last night. How about that comeback? This series is great. Like, and it's for people that don't, they're just getting into it. So, yeah, the timing is unfortunate. This whole offseason for the Oilers has been a catastrophe. Like,
really
I
has.
think,
Really
the whole thing with coaches in general, this isn't an Edmonton Oilers thing, this is a league thing, on like how we've gotten to like other than your odd exception, your Rod Brindamores, your John Cooper, guys like that. It's like these guys get like 2-3 years and it seems like you're gonzo if it doesn't work. And I'm like, man, this Knobloch, he's been there for 3 years. He's gone to the finals twice, for Christ's sakes. You just signed him to an extension in October and then you mess up wanting to talk to Cassidy, and so now you got to can him, and then it's like Vegas won't let you talk to him until after the playoffs. I guess that's not a for sure thing, but my question would be like, has there ever been a world where a team has been like, no, you can't talk to him ever? Like, I don't know. I don't think so, but like, why wouldn't you wait a week until the playoff or whatever, 5 days?
Yeah, it's not like there's a lineup. There's not like there's an urgency.
There's no lineup for Babs. There's no lineup for Babs. Nobody even mentioned his name.
No one was going to touch this. No one was going to.
No, nobody was touching this, and you couldn't wait to. We can't wait. Babs is our guy. It's like, what? I just don't. A lot of this I don't get.
Wow.
And it is infuriating.
Can I just throw this? Can I just throw this for a moment? I was talking to a player who spent some time under Babs, and Commie, like, ultimately in the history of sports, whether it's football, baseball, basketball, hockey, you name it, boxing, there are a lot of people that have done some reprehensible things off the ice or off the playing field
question.
That have come back for less. And one player said to me, rotten human being, but yes, that good a coach. This is why, and you guys ask, is the juice worth the squeeze? There are people that hate this guy everywhere that played under him, but will all testify to say, I hate this guy more than anything, but he's the best coach I've ever had.
You could sell me on that 10 years ago. You could have sold me on that before the Columbus Blue Jacket thing. I was one of those people saying that. Now, is he the best coach I've ever had? No. But I've always said to this day, it comes up. I mean, that's partly my fault.
And you said it before, right? You said this before.
I've said it before. I've never sat here and like lied and been like, man, the guy is a totally useless human being, doesn't know hockey. Like, no, I haven't said that. He does know hockey. He knows how to run a practice. Like, I will say that. He's just a scumbag human being. He's a bad person. He's a bully. At the end of the day, Mike Babcock is a bully. He thinks everybody is showing up to the rink to watch him. It's a power play for him. That's why he picks on rookies. That's why he didn't let, Mike Modano, huh? Hockey Hall of Famer. You think you're going to get to 1,500 games? No, I'm going to scratch you. He gets off on shit like that. So, like, I agree with that before the Columbus stuff. Then he took the job in Columbus. There was his opportunity. Here you go. Here's your gateway back into the league. And he couldn't even make it to training camp. He's going through the phones wasn't a big deal. And, it was for a I don't want to hear that bullshit. Yeah, for the God rest his soul, the Johnny Gaudreaus of the world, I'm sure it was a very pleasant conversation. Can I see a picture of your kids? I'm doing this collage. It wasn't pleasant for Adam Fantilli. It wasn't pleasurable, or it wasn't, well intended for people that he thinks he has power over. Like, that's the thing that people, I don't know if they don't want to see it, or I just don't get it. Like, how is this guy worth it?
Oh,
how is this guy worth it?
That's
I
the
don't.
Question. That's good. And the phone thing wasn't a big deal. But anyways, let's move on.
Yes.
Shall we?
Okay. Well, to that, we had a gift horse given to us last episode regarding Dylan Larkin. I thought you guys were on fire in terms of your perspectives on that. To move this forward here with this conversation, story comes out that Dylan Larkin has shared with the Wings a 3-team list that I feel like every American All-Star player has their like no trade would have their 3 teams. Actually, no, fair at least 2 of the 3, but Florida.
Is Edmonton one of them?
Yeah, not anymore.
Well, now that Babs is maybe getting hired, I'm sure he put Edmonton on the list.
But Florida, Vegas, and actually Minnesota. And when you look at the Stars, though, a lot of these teams are littered with, American players who won gold medals. So, what are your thoughts on those 3 teams and giving a list like that when you have a no movement clause? You've asked out. And one thing that really popped up in our YouTube chat from the last episode, a few people said, players should have their no trade clauses removed if they ask out. So I'm curious what you make of that list and, well played or not.
Wow, it's comical, right? Absolutely comical to go in there and say these 3 teams. That's it. Man, oh man! Like you're putting yourself in a position where you're showing up day 1 at training camp. Like that's the reality. Like because Stevie's gonna say, "Listen, this isn't gonna happen."
That's a good point.
You can only go to 3 places, so you're gonna feel the brunt of training camp day 1 with that C on your jersey, having everyone know that you want out. Because you can't do business that way. The Detroit Red Wings missing the playoffs 10 years in a row. Steve Yzerman getting smoked on our YouTube channel, on our Instagram channel by half or 20% of the people saying he's mismanaged everything. Well, what do you think it's going to look like if he only deals with 3 teams for Dylan Larkin? You're going to get a 3rd round pick and a prospect that's 10th in the pipeline for that at that point. So fascinating. Just another part of the story that for me really doesn't look great on the player when you go in there and have that leak out as well, that it's only 3 teams and it's only those 3 teams of all things too. I mean, it's the most obvious thing in the world. So, and then to jump in lastly, that idea of the no move clause being revoked or being changed if you ask for a trade is interesting. I don't know how you legally put it in a contract. Like there's probably, because you could get around by saying I want to trade, or like, do you have to formally write I want to trade on a piece of paper? Like, I don't know how that works, but that does make sense from a 500-foot view. I just don't know how you would do it logistically. But when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that actually probably should be the case. You would think that the guy getting traded or wanting to be traded would have common sense with that, but obviously that's not the case in the NHL anymore.
I'll be honest, I've been a little occupied with my Babs blowing up on my phone, so I haven't seen a whole lot about this.
What a break for Dylan Larkin then here, Commie.
You know what? This came up, we were watching the game last night with somebody who knows Steve, and I would say, I mean, that the list is laughable. Yeah, we all want to go to those teams right now. That sounds awesome, but I think now we're never going to hear a word about it. I don't think, because Steve he keeps it tight. I mean, we can't even interview. We can't have anybody from the Red Wings on our podcast unless like Steve okays it. Steve likes to play. He keeps it tight, and that's great. That's fine. Like I think behind closed doors, this has potential to get ugly.
Oh yeah,
if
easy.
Like real ugly behind closed doors. So yeah, I never thought about the day 1 of training camp thing. Yeah, that's captain of the team shows up to camp. I mean, obviously you got to show up, right? You want to get your contract starting, the year starting.
Oh,
it could be, it could be some fireworks behind closed doors in Detroit.
You've seen examples of this though, where management gets handcuffed. Steve Yzerman, this is a different personality, but I remember when Ryan Kessler wanted out of Vancouver. He basically gave them the option with his no trade. He gave the option of, I want Anaheim or Chicago, right? So you're already now trying to make a move with one hand tied behind your back as a manager. That didn't play out very well at all. But I feel like Steve Yzerman's going to handle this much differently and willing to dig in if need be. So, yeah, this is fascinating. Training camp, I would not be surprised at all. Oh, man.
Gosh.
Okay, let me hit a couple of ones quickly here. Razor, these are more for you, but Commie, I also want to get your perspective on another one here. Number 1, Razor, The goalie change in the middle of the Stanley Cup final. As we record this, there's a lot of moving parts. This series has been fantastic, but Freddie Anderson out after going 15 straight, might have been in contention for the Conn Smythe and like completely out.
Yeah, well, the healthy scratch thing's crazy.
Now, is it a reset possibly?
Well, yeah, and Rod said it, and you know they're still leaning into the fact that we could see Freddie again in the series. I don't understand how that could happen, but you know, I had my concerns about it going in. Yep. I did. I knew the record, of course, and you know, you brought up Dryden and Cheevers and Freddie Anderson, and I wasn't ready to lean into that in any way whatsoever. And I watching game one, I would have made the move after game one, guys. I really would have. And you know, I text some people. Vegas was different. Vegas is different than what they've already seen. And Freddie looked a little outmatched in his ability to move. He's an older guy. He plays a certain way. When everything's easy in front of him, he's very good. He's not going to give up a soft goal for you. He's going to play the puck well. He manages a game extremely well at his age. But Vegas was cooking. And you could see he was a little bit in trouble, and that's happened. And now you got Bussy in there. And I don't see how you go back, and it just feels like he gives them a bit of a better opportunity with his athleticism. He's got his warts as well, but it had to have been done. Rod had to make the move, and it paid off in game 4, and we'll see the rest of the series.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that was the thing with, for me with Freddie Anderson, what I've heard about him, and like nice guy, really good goalie, has had a wonderful career. There's no question about that. But, you know, I did hear kind of when push comes to shove and things get hard, if he doesn't feel perfect, Freddie could be out. So, he's done a great job up to this point, up to this series, I guess. But, I mean, I think Bussy's looked, like I said, he's not perfect. He looked pretty good to me. And he looks big in there moving around. So, I don't know. I mean, it's not like Rod. I will say Rod's been through this before. Now, maybe not so much as a coach in the Stanley Cup Finals, but he was, when we went into, if he's leaning back on experiences from the past and experiences that happened to him. We went through this a little bit with Carolina as well in 2006 with Gerber and Ward and back to Gerber and back to Ward and so hopefully that makes Roddy a little more comfortable in making his moves. But it's Freddie hung in there for a long time, but it's. They need.
I think even the Canes fans think it was the right time to make this change. Speaking of the Canes, 20-year anniversary coming up in a week or so here for you, Commie, since you won your Stanley Cup.
Give it to us, Commie. Give it to us. What's happening this week?
Well, I'm getting on a plane in 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Oh boy!
I'll tell you what. I like to be honest to our listeners. This is my dedication to the Canes. With the Canes only wanted to book me on Delta. Well, Delta doesn't fly direct, and I need to get back here on Friday. So my dedication to the Canes, I got my Amex out and I booked my own flights. So I'm coming out there on my own dime. I'll be at game 5. I'm not sure. I'm cranking that horn at some point. I don't know what time.
Oh, my God. Crank away. So, I can't wait to watch you crank that thing.
I gotta be honest. I'm kind of a little nervous.
Just pretend it's Babcock's neck, right? You just ring it and you're ringing it.
You going left or right shoulder, Commie?
Yeah. I think I got to go. I don't know. Good question. My right shoulder ain't great. I got to be honest. I don't know. Probably, I guess when push comes to shove, I'll go with the right.
Now we record. Now this episode is probably dropping after game 5.
Yeah.
Or you're watching after.
So yes, you're watching this. So we'll get the full blow-by-blow. We'll get the behind-the-scenes stories coming up for Game 5 on this one. But Commie, I wanted to mention real quick thought. Peter Laviolette, you won a Stanley Cup with him in 2006. He's now back behind the bench with your boy Holland here. I mean, this is the Commie Club here in Los Angeles now.
Why didn't the Oilers hire Peter? That would have been
That's
great
exactly
move.
what they're doing. It's the same guy. Structure, discipline, nice guy, great guy, perfect.
He doesn't abuse his players.
There you go.
I think it's great. I didn't know if I saw Peter in December. I haven't seen much of Peter over the last 20 years, but always got along really good with Peter. I think he's a great guy. He's had an incredible career. I don't think he, obviously won with us, and he's taken 3 teams total or 4 to the finals.
At least
3 or 4. Philadelphia,
Nashville,
Carolina.
What about Philly?
You said Philly. It was Philly.
Carolina,
not the Rangers. He wasn't there for the Rangers, right? AV was the Rangers.
That was
right?
With the Rangers going back a decade ago. No, wasn't Laviolette. Laviolette wasn't there with the Rangers going to the Cup final. No.
Or you said Philly.
Yeah. We had Philly, Nashville, and Carolina. There's 3.
Yeah.
Carolina, Nashville, Philly. What's the other one?
I don't know.
Okay, maybe not. Anyway, whatever. 3 or 4. So he's had. I don't think he's super thrilled on how it ended for him. So this is awesome that he gets another chance. Going to my boy Ken.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good hire. I
think
it's a great hire for LA, and I'm sure he's thrilled.
Yeah.
So yeah. I got none. You won't hear me say a bad word about Peter Laviolette.
Okay, Razor, quick one for you. What do you make as your former team, the Toronto Maple Leafs, looking at interviewing Joe Pavelski? I mean, this one came out of left field for people, and Patrick Roy getting consideration as well. Your hero and a guy, one of your contemporaries.
A guy I play golf with. Yeah, figure it out. I don't know yet, because there's so many names. It feels like they've literally talked to every single person in the hockey world other than the 3 of us, and Commie might be next, after this, especially after this after this week, just to stir the pot. But Pavelski, like, these guys are all great hockey minds. Pavelski feel like now that his name's coming up, feels like everybody's coming to bat. He's a coach. These guys are starting to get in the mix. So I'll wait to hear when they really have people in town, but to go off the reservation with a Pavelski would be very interesting, especially as the Babcocks, the Laviolettes, the Cassidys, the Berubes are trying to get recycled. The Leafs are going the other way, and it feels like it's probably a pretty good point in their career or their organization to do so. Okay,
time for our fan question of the week. We're going to get Don't Puck It Up here in a moment as well. But fan question of the week, this one goes to, this is coming from Joe's Trunk.
All right.
Remember, if you have a question, use the hashtag AskCTC. But Joe obviously spent some time in Columbus here, Commie, because he says we loved having Commie in Columbus. So,
well, that's nice. Love. I don't hear that very often.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And,
I like Columbus too.
Yeah, looks like Joe's Trunk and Scott Housen are the 2 people that really liked having Commie in Columbus.
That's right.
Okay,
right.
You can check out last week's episode if you missed that. Okay, question for Razor. Everybody always dumping on D-men and goalies in Edmonton. Could it be the style of play? Offense first. Seems like the D zone doesn't get enough timely help with forwards. Thoughts?
Oh, it's the full structure, no question about it. There's no doubt. I would probably add 1 or 2 of those defensemen that he spoke about getting criticized about the offense that they try and provide too often. That is well documented here on this show. The boosh bombs that we get at both ends of the ice are probably a big part of that. So. Listen, it's not a secret that they're going after defensive type-minded people. Now, I'm wondering, the only thing to it is like that there were times, and they went to the finals 2 years in a row, Game 6 and Game 7. They played defense within that time. When Knobloch was harping on defense. It wasn't like Knobloch went in there and just said, "You guys do whatever you want." I'm sure he was trying to invest in that structure. So yes, they get unfairly criticized. Certainly the goaltenders. Certainly some of the D at different times, but I'm also wondering whether that even matters and if you can actually get someone in there to actually make them play defense, or if that's just what they are.
You want to lead on that one, Commie, or you feel good?
I feel very good about what Razor just said there. Hockey's a team game.
Yeah,
it's a team game. You need help from everybody. If I'm a defenseman back there, a defenseman and goalie, and we got no help from the forwards, and those forwards are high wheeling it up around the blue line and coming down, and I mean it's pretty tough to defend. So yeah, you need help from everybody.
Okay, time for Don't Puck It Up. My Don't Puck It Up this week, gentlemen, it's the Oilers. And I'm going to draw from a couple of old classic movies here for a second. For many hockey fans, it is inconceivable to hire Mike Babcock, going back to the Princess Bride. Now, but if you're making this much noise in the middle of the Stanley Cup final, then it is clearly happening. This is clearly a done deal at this point in time. And Connor has signed off on this, and Leon has signed off on this. And I can almost hear it now with Babcock rolling into Edmonton, channeling his inner Wyatt Earp from Tombstone. You know that scene with Kurt Russell where he says, "You called on the Thunder. Well, now you got it. You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me. You hear? Hell's coming with me." That is Mike Babcock, essentially. And so, Oilers, if you're that desperate and this is what you wanted, don't puck it up now.
Yeah.
Commie, you
Babs. Well, I will touch on that too, because it's been
Please
all that's
do.
been on my
This
mind
is yours.
for the last. Yeah. Look, it's my last chance for. I don't know how the process works exactly. I don't know whether it's the NHL or the NHLPA or a combination of both. Don't puck this up. Hockey's in a good place. We don't need help the Oilers out. Don't let them make this mistake. Actually show me. Let's see some actions where mental health actually matters to you and you're going to do something about it. Don't let this bully Mike Babcock back into the game. He's had enough chances. He's made plenty of money. It's not like you're denying this guy a way to make a living. There's other options out there, and he's done incredibly well for himself. Don't puck this up, NHLPA. Gas this before it even starts, and get this guy out.
All right, I'll bring the levitivity to the end of the show
All right,
here.
thank God.
Yeah, I'm here for you. Don't puck it up, Commie, and crank that siren with all that you got. Give it to everybody in Carolina, the Fro. I can't wait to see how you bring that back. I know we're going to talk about that. That's going to be a big part of the next show of the Fro, from where it's at now to where you get to it, because I heard you have some plans on that.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I know. So I can't wait to hear about
though.
that. So crank that siren, Commie. Don't puck it up.
All right. I'm going to try not to let you down, Razor.
I wish I could find. There's a picture I found the other day, Commie, that I totally want a T-shirt of, and it's just you riding. Oh, it's this one right here.
The beer on the
it's
on the parade.
it's you on the beer.
It's literally the best.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally
It's
the greatest
just the best.
picture of all
Like
time.
just an amazing.
I didn't sleep much before that, fellas. That was parade.
But just the hair.
I can
That was
actually
parade
tell.
number one.
I can actually see your eyes through the sunglasses that you hadn't slept for 5 days prior to that.
Oh, that was the next morning, right after we won.
Let our editors put
think
that up.
I don't think I went to bed. And kind of a funny thing about that, we showed up. We had a picture before. I'm like, oh my God, I feel terrible. Put these glasses on. We do our parade around the arena or whatever. It was fine. And I get in the back of I was in the back of like a Daisy Duke Jeep, and I'm like, man, I need to get a couple in me here just to get back to neutral. I feel terrible. So I went out there with like 6 beers in my hands or whatever, put them down. We're doing a lap or two of the arena. And this is a thumbs up to the Canes fans. I crushed beers as fast as I could. And at the end of that parade, I still had 6 beers at my feet. That's how many beers the Canes fans were just firing at me. I was catching them. It was like not quite stone cold smashing them together, but I would just bury them, throw the. I didn't even get a chance. I think I had cracked my first. Let me take that back. I had 5 beers at my feet because the first one I chugged was mine, and then after that there were just endless beers coming in. Yeah, that was a hell of a morning. There's no question about that.
And that's the bottom line, because Commie said so.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
That's
Hey, just a
right,
quick
that's
reminder, everybody. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube for more Clearing the Crease content powered by Ozune.com. Follow along Apple, Spotify, X, Instagram, TikTok, because the road to the Stanley Cup, it's cooking right now, and the clearest route to winning big is to play on Ozune. Ozune's got you covered for all the props, game lines, futures from now until the Cup final and beyond. Make your power play. Score big with Ozune. Well played. He's Razor. He's Commie. I'm Sabalski. Make sure you're telling your friend to spread the word. The Clearing the Crease podcast is where it's at. And we'll talk to you next week right here on the Clearing the Crease podcast, powered by Ozune.com. Well played.
Clearing the crease.